I'm just concerned with my RV because of the neglect of Keystone Company to repair gear drives on the slides that were leaking oil and damaging the roofs on slides. I think that because of their neglect and not taking care of this problem earlier, a lot of owners of Keystone RVs are going to have damaged roofs, and they want everybody to have a patch to repair it. And in speaking with the company Dicor that makes the roofing material, the warranty guy at Dicor told me that they will not warranty it with a patch on it, and it's the wrong repair. In August 2018, me and my wife purchased a Raptor 428SP. That's for the side patio. When we went to pick it up on the date that we were going to get it delivered, they said that they had problems with getting the parts. So we took the camper out the next day. We took it with us and waited for them to get the parts, and then finally they got the part. They got the part in, but it came in and it was damaged, so that couldn't. So we've had it there about 3 or 4 times since August, since we bought it 6 months ago. And basically, we could only use it twice because it's always been at their place waiting for parts. And, it seems to be a big part procurement problem that they have there. Now, with this, on our last trip down to Florida, before I went to pull the slides in, I went on top of the unit to check for debris on top of the slides, to remove any debris. And when I did, I noticed bubbles on the slides. So what I did was, when we came back from Florida, I still had it taken in for more warranty work. We found one of the walls were delaminating. It was coming off the wall, the side wall. And then what happened was I told the service advisor there about the bubbles, and he told me that he said he would look into it. Well, when I went in there maybe a couple of days later just to see how the repairs were going, he told me that he put in for, he said new motors at the time, but he told me the other day he meant new gear drives. They attached to the motor, and he said they were leaking, so he put in under warranty claim for new gear drives and to have all the roofs replaced on the slides. I disagreed with that. I said, no, I'm not going to accept that. I said, I didn't buy a brand new trailer to have patches on the slide roofs. And so I went online, I started to investigate it a little bit, and I noticed that some of the Montana owners are thinking about doing a suit against Keystone because of this damage. And reading from different forums, I've come to find out that Keystone knew about this problem since 2017, and they still kept building and sending out these trailers with slides with that part in it that was leaking. Now, when I asked, well, what is leaking on it, they told me it's a seal. I said, a seal? I says, a seal is supposed to retain what's ever in that unit. It's not supposed to leak past it. Well, I read that, what happens when you run the slide, the grease or oil, I'm not sure what's inside the unit, heats up and it expands and pushes it out past the seal. So their fix for that was to install a drip pan under the gear. And I said, that is ridiculous. And the analogy I used was, if I put a new sink in your house and you call me back, 6 months later and it was leaking, and I gave you a bucket and said, well, just put this under the sink where the leak is and you can just empty it once in a while and you'll be fine. I said, that's ridiculous what you're asking us to do. So anyway, I noticed that a lot of the owners have gotten complete roofs on their slide. All right? And that's what I said I want. I said I want the gears to be replaced, and I don't want leaky gears. And if you want to put the drip pans under them, that's fine. You do that. And I says, and I want new roofs on all 3 sides, right? Now, I've spoke with the factory 4 times with Keystone. All right. The first girl that I spoke to, she looked at the photographs that the warranty people from my dealer where I bought it sent to them when they requested, the roofs and the gears. And she said to me, "Oh, you don't need no repairs on that. That's not bad enough. It doesn't warrant any repairs." I said, "Really?" I said, "Well, what's going to happen when the slide goes in and out? Now the bubble starts to tear." I says, and I'm past 1 year. I'm out of warranty now. Now, I was told, because I bought an extended warranty, I was told that they'll replace, under the extended warranty, that they would replace the gears, but not the roofs. They're not covered under the extended warranty. So I called up again and I spoke to another person. Well, the first time I spoke to was a girl named Lisa, and that was on 121. I spoke with her. Then I called back again and I spoke with a gentleman named Zane. And because when I called my dealer back to report to them that Lisa says I don't need no repairs, I asked Lisa, I said, "Well, where do we go from here? Who else do I talk to?" And she said, "Call your dealer." So I called my dealer back and I spoke to the service advisor again. And he said, "All right, I'll give that info to my warranty girl." Then I got a call back from him. He said, "Nope, the only thing they're going to do, they'll do the gears and they'll do patches on the roof." And I said, "Well, that's not acceptable, patches." So I spoke to Zane and I explained to him that, I'm not going to accept it. I'm not going to accept patches. I said, once again, I said, I didn't pay $70,000 for a camper, then I'm going to have patches on the roof. And I said to him, "What happens in 5 years from now when the patch wears off?" "Oh, well, you always can call Keystone and, we'll make notes." I said, "Look, you don't even want to do the repairs now. How am I going to get you to do it in 5 years, with patches?" So they told me that it meets industry standards. And my question is, who sets the standards? Keystone? I said, well, I told him it doesn't meet consumer standards today. I said, you have your industry standards and I have a consumer standard, and it doesn't meet consumer standards. So now I ended up calling back once again, and I got a girl, Bettina, at the Keystone factory. And she was very nice, but she couldn't do nothing for me. And she said, let me have one of our managers call you back. And she took my phone number. And 2 days later, I hadn't heard from any manager. And I have this guy Zane call me back again, who's not a manager. And he tells me that the bottom line is we're not going to do nothing but do the patches and the motors and the gears. And once again, I said, well, I'd like to speak to your manager. And he said, look, you're not going to hear anything different from him. I said, well, you're not helping me. So I want to speak to somebody that maybe can help me. So he said, hold on. And then he brought Corey, the manager, over. And he was adamant that they're not going to do anything. They're not going to make, they will not put the roofs on. And they're saying to me, oh, you're refusing warranty work? I said, no, I'm not refusing warranty work. I'm refusing the type of repair you want to do under warranty. I said, that's what I'm refusing. And I called up, I asked what was the warranty on the roof itself. Now, I've known I've had, with being a fire commissioner, I put roofs on the firehouse, and I had the rubber roofs put down. And if you were going to make any penetration through the rubber roof, you had to call the company, and they would have to come there and inspect the repair and everything to maintain your warranty. So I said, how are you going to do this? How are you going to maintain my warranty? Now, he told me, Corey told me today, it's a 12-year guarantee on the rubber roof, all right? So I called up Dicor today, which is the manufacturer of the rubber roof. So I'm told it was Dicor. I called them up, and I spoke with a gentleman, Don, who's their warranty person, and he told me point blank that the patch is not an acceptable repair. So I think we have a lot of people with Keystone trailers that have this problem, okay, that they're not even aware of it, that these gears are dripping. I know the Montana Owners Association, they seem to have found out about it earlier than most. And I don't know how many of these, RVs are out there that have these motors that leak, the gears that leak. So I'm really frustrated at this point. I'm probably going to end up speaking with an attorney and see what they recommend, how I should proceed here. I tried to work with Keystone, but Keystone doesn't want to work with me. And, like I said, I've been a mechanic my whole life. And, I said to them, once again, I said, all right, in 3 to 5 years, the patch wears off from going in and out. Where am I? Are you going to put a new roof on then? And they said, well, you can talk to us in 5 years when that, 3 to 5 years if that happens. So, they're at fault because they continued to install these gear units after they knew it was leaking. Now, my vehicle, that the RV that I purchased, is a 2018 leftover, is what I was told, okay? And, I love the camper. Me and my wife, we love the RV, and the only thing is, there seems to have been quite a bit wrong with it, all right? For the most part, I got to say that the dealer that I dealt with, which is Myrtle Beach, Camping World of Myrtle Beach, they have been pretty helpful to me in trying to get this resolved. But they kind of said it's out of their hands. They can't do no more. That Keystone says this is all they're going to do. And, to me, it's not the right repair. And because of their neglect to rectify these motors or gears, whatever you want to call it, I feel, oh, well, this was another thing that they said to me. When I said, how come there wasn't a recall on this? And they said to me, oh, no, we only have recalls on safety items. I said, what? I said, that's ridiculous. I said, I was in the automotive field my whole life. There were recalls on things that didn't work right. It could be a window knob or something like that. It's not a safety issue, but the knobs are falling off or something, And I said, that's under a recall. They'll recall that. You telling me that your recalls are only for safety-related items? I said, that's crazy. I mean, now, after on this last trip, we noticed that the wall seemed to be delaminating and coming off. And then when we got down there to Florida, we were driving in heavy rain, had all the slides all the way in, and the front bedroom slide, when we put the slide out, the rug was wet on the front and the rear of that slide. I wrote up this when I brought it in for the repair, and they claim that they claim that the drain underneath was clogged with sealant, that someone put too much sealant down there and it clogged the drain. And I'm not quite sure this whole drain thing, to be honest with you. But I did notice that when we had the slide out, and in a couple of days, the rug was dry. And then we had torrential rain again, and it never got wet. So I said to them, you know, I would think if them drains were clogged down there that it would have happened again, but I don't know, maybe not, you know, I just don't know. You know, maybe because the slide's out, you know, the water drains, you know, but when it's in, the water just comes down and goes on the rug. That's the only thing I can think of. But I don't know how the water's getting in there because the seal around the slide should prevent water from going in there. I haven't gotten the RV back yet. Once again, waiting parts from Keystone, you know. I would ask Keystone to step up to the plate, and they know that they're wrong here. And I want new roofs put on my slides. I would like the gear units that are leaking oil to be replaced. And if they're going to do the same thing, then they better put them drip pans under there so it doesn't drip down onto the new roof. Okay, that's it. I priced the job myself at Camping World of Myrtle Beach to do the repairs, and it comes out to everything just under $2,000 to have it done there. I mean, that's them charging me what I would have. I'm sure warranty would pay a lot less for them to do that repair.